Hello, one and all. Welcome back to the Hexagon TTRPG. I feel like sometimes I watch Dimension 20 and the hello, one and all that Brennan does gets stuck in my head. Then we get on stream and I don't know what the first thing to say is, and it just comes out of my mouth, and I just have no choice but to say it. But that being said, thank you all for coming to play another session of Progenitors Bloodlines, and thank you for watching if you're there at home. Today, as always, we're going to be playing with our wonderful players who will be introducing themselves, starting with Simon.
Hello, I play Wilm Fair, one of the progenitors, and of the bloodline of what appears to be something akin to a phoenix. A bit of a tidbit on Wilm is having just visited the dimension of the Hellions. Wilm has gotten a bit of the travel bug. He kind of wants to start seeing a bit more of the world, this new world that they find themselves in. And now he's like, the forest is cool and all, but like, what if there's something else, something to see?
Oh my God, I did it! I finally made you guys leave the starting zone.
Yeah,
It's that time.
it's that time.
Yes. All right, moving on over to Peter.
Hello, hello. I'm Peter. I'm Pep, and I am playing Tomas, the tough Tomas, the big brute, the barbarian. He's a tribal-esque sort of man with this gray, stony skin, and he's got a little face on his forehead that he can channel emotion magic, his empathy, and yeah, he's also a progenitor, and he's trying to figure out this whole, create a civilization from scratch business. He also picked something up from the demon domain, the Hellion domain, in our our meeting with Malfrexation. He learned that he carries his soul on his forehead, or just like out in the open. And I think that part of him is a little bit curious about that, maybe curious to learn more what that means, if there's a way to control that, if there's a way to suppress it, if there's a way to, push it even further out. So he's doing some thinking, which doesn't happen often.
Wow, I do think that it's it's definitely the norm to be thinking about exposing himself.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. And then last but not least, we have Diana.
Who's playing Quintini 314, full name this time, full name. She's a intergalactic, colorful angel. I swapped out the word order this time. So blue skin, pink hair lady, full of dreams and hopes, just did a deal with the devil that she was really stressed out for, but found out that, maybe not all Helians are the same. Maybe there's some that just are trying to do their best, and some that are evil, but not all. What else is on top of it all? She also has a little bit of a travel bug feeling at the moment. I think the opportunity of finally getting off this island has hit her, and is all exciting again to be able to have comforts in life, like a roof under your head, some different foods than we are munching at the moment, some variety. It's a bit the same old foods, so it would be nice. What else? Yeah, that's about it. I think she's at a point where she wants to get out of here too.
Heck yeah. I mean, it's been chicken stew, mushroom stew.
For years. My God.
Yeah, I guess it's been like a couple years in game now that you guys have been in this forest. It's been quite a while that you've been roughing it. I think that it's not even roughing it anymore. It's just the new normal. Incredible. And if you're here in chat, make sure to say hi. And if you're new, make sure to hit the follow button, just like another mensch. If you want to find more of our content and past episodes, you can go over to our channel at TheHexagonTTRPG on YouTube. You can find us on TikTok, Threads, Instagram, and maybe Blue Sky. I don't know if we actually post there at TheHexagonTTRPG as well. But without further ado, we'll get started. Incredible. So last time on Dimensionauts, Progenitors, Bloodlines, the show with two with two colons, you guys went to hell and came back. I think it was fairly straightforward. You met with Hunson Dabadir, who brought you to see his boss, Malfrexation, of the Malfrexation Corporation in hell. And so the Hellions who live in hell apparently also have a disdain for certain otherworlders. They mentioned the Mogwai in particular, and all but spat on the ground at their name. That being said, there was a mysterious signal in hell that you guys did not end up going to investigate. That would seem to be kind of just further deeper in, away from the portal. And you all had a deal with the Hellions to bring you back to the same time and place from which you left. And so you came back, another deal being struck in which you would basically have, maybe not a free trade deal, but at least a communications deal between the two parties, and an initial trade in the form of magical beast parts from the dragon you slew, the Landwyrm, and getting in return. Did you got the
a room key
and a card key and a schematics, and the card key goes to a pocket dimension motel room with strange kind of like shadowy light outside on the other side of the window of the blinds in the motel, and you were told never open the window.
Yep. I should probably write that down just to make sure.
Wherever you have that key card item, in brackets, don't open the window.
Just put a note on the actual window in the motel room. Do not open under any circumstances.
Just
Do we have
on it. I think the scariest thing would be if you wrote on that window and then you came back one day and there was writing on the other side.
Yep. Or the writing wouldn't be there anymore or something. Like there's some change.
Yeah, it was room 1409. That was the one, right? Yeah. And my DM fact for the week is that was a reference to Stephen King's 1408, the short story.
Oh.
How fun! How fun of me to make you double think getting that magical cipher, potentially giving it up.
It's ours now.
Yeah, and so here you are. It is yours now. I think the Hellions have grabbed
They came back. They came with the cart. They put in. We loaded up all the pieces, like the parts that we were to trade. They went back through the portal. I'm pretty sure it closed.
Yeah. So I'll say like you guys were like standing there. You know, like you could oversee. It's not like there's a demon slipping into the world through this portal. Like there were some mentions of like they are anchored to their realm now through the magic that's there. So you see them come on. There's like those big, more brutish looking ones that are really strong. They grab these parts, they bring them through, and portal is gone. So you're all back at base. The Civ is going strong, and I think we are moving to a sort of new era of Progenitors, Bloodlines, where now you guys have a solid base. You overcame a really hard first year with the mushroom plague that had come to the island. In the next year, you guys, I think, like finally got all of your supply lines mostly in order. You have very stable income in terms of like food and even money crop now. And although there was the insanity obelisk event that has now populated the kind of like ring around the forest, It also kind of acts as like a protective barrier. I think that anybody who was maybe trying to come, seek out the forest would maybe get stopped by those obelisks as well. Kind of a double-edged sword. So you guys are in a bit of a comfortable position here. That being said, there were a couple open like quests. So there's a few things. One, there's the voidlings that are still in the forest. You guys had promised Baelith, the memory tree at the heart of the forest, that you were going to help rid the forest of these things. You're supposed to have the aid of the Great Black Widow, but she is left with one of your fellow progenitors, and so now you don't have that help anymore. That being said, you have some magical weapons from the Hellions. In terms of other things to do, there's a signal far to the west, across the water, over towards the mainland. And that was a Tower of Dimensionality signal that Quinn picked up on. There was also, again to the west, there was a vision that you guys had of a leather-bound book in a swamp. There's, what else was there? Oh, and Bart, a resident of who claims to have come across the water from the east, through the ocean, a lone sailor on a small sailboat with only a bunch of vegetables, and basically who speaks of some sort of like flame empire and a purifying fire religion, which may or may not be related to the Mogwai, who also seem to come from that direction and land upon the island. So there's quite a few threads here that are open. And I guess it's up to you guys. What did you want to tackle first?
That's an excellent question.
Well, I would like to give these schematics to our guild, that blacksmithing guild and everything, just to see what they can make of it, and if they can potentially start using potentially some of the iron that we've accumulated to start creating some of the pieces that they see, and potentially if we have any competent woodworkers, we can have them start on any potential wooden pieces, like the boat part of this amphibious vehicle.
Well, sounds like a good plan. I could ask around the deck of huts for any good carpenters.
But at the very least, we had who was my blacksmith? Finley. Go speak to Finley and see what he can make of the schematics.
All right, you go talk to Finley. Finley, gruff and with his blacksmith's beard, taking care of the stores and the small forge that you guys created, which is also in part a home. Which reminds me of the other quest that I totally forgot just then, which was the fact that you guys had another clue from Quinn's mentor, which was to get a harvest or something.
Mm-hmm.
To get a harvest?
Was it a harvest?
It was
So
something
we've already
related to
had a harvest.
Apply the
agriculture.
land.
I'm looking it up. It's not get a harvest
And
or something.
apply the land.
That was what
Buy
it
the
was.
land.
Yeah.
Do we have potentially a clarification on what that means?
Got any more deets, mentor?
Yeah.
Right?
Mentor comes out like Miss Minutes again from Loki. Little hologram, and just like it's a small like chibi looking person, wearing like a Greek toga style robe, but like covers like the full chest, short cropped white hair, blue eyes, just like shrugs. I don't know. I don't have any any details about that stuff, unfortunately. All I can say is that maybe if we get more Dimensionaut technology, maybe I could unlock some of these processes or make it go faster. I think that the building a home aspect probably could have been done faster. And you see he like opens up a little hologram window in the air next to Quinn. You can see like the little beam of light shooting from her suit to like create this.
Mm-hmm.
And you see it says like build a home, and then there's the requirements under build a home, and you can see like what the specific requirements were for it. You needed to have a built house that had a hearth, and basically a door. So it had to have like roof, walls, door, and fireplace for it to be considered a home. There was like some very like specific aspects, and it just so happened that the forge is a hearth, right? It's like a big like fiery thing, and there was the door, and it had all the other aspects to it.
I got lucky with that one. Okay, so there must be very like specific things we need to have in order to consider it play, or like harvesting. Okay.
Yeah,
I guess if I had a tractor.
Look at you guys too, and it's like I don't know how useful this information is. This has to do with what Enoch was trying to get done, and it doesn't necessarily have to do with your survival. But I think building a home and then plying the land are ways that you would be able to survive the apocalypse that happened. So it's a bit of a toss-up, and I think that there are urgent and pressing issues as well.
Just a reminder, you said the tower signal, was it on the island or off the island?
Far to the west, off the island and across the sea.
Island. Okay.
Yeah, and you guys know there's land out there. It's just like no one's been able to, like, there's been no boats or anything that have been able to go out that far and scout.
For now.
For now.
I mean, Finley is like, oh my god, he's like exclaiming, looking over at the schematics of the boat. He's like, we don't have anything, like I don't have any of the tools needed to build some of these things. And look here, and he shows you in the schematics, and it's like the Hellions had given you just a couple more pages, like they collected a sheaf of notes and kind of gave it over. And inside the boat, the schematics for the interior of it are very complex machinery in terms of getting those legs of the boat that were supposed to make it also a land vehicle to work. Attached to that is what looks like the designs for some sort of a power source. There's some sort of an engine, a magical engine that runs the boat. He's like, this is beyond. We have magic. What's Finley's voice? I'm Finley, the blacksmith. We have magic, and we can produce things. We can produce flame and energy in that way. The magics here are different. They're runic. It means there's been power that's gathered in a spot and then siphoned away for purposes. We don't really have that, and I don't think any of you naturally have that sort of power either.
Not that I know of, that's for sure.
Yeah, so we might need instruction in that, or to. He grabs one of his aides, just like a younger, apprentice blacksmith in training. And, oh, Stuart, can you go get Bartholomew? They have different technologies over across the sea, and he had mentioned something about they had something called street lamps, which we now have here in the form of plants, but maybe that'll be useful.
And maybe Quinn, if Maylin can look with the Fae to see if they potentially have any clue as to any of this runic symbology or the siphoning process.
I do think that sounds like a good idea. Well, if it's runes, maybe there's something in your database for that mentor.
Mentor, you see he like pops back into your suit, and you can hear like the hum of him like thinking. It's basically him like using the power, the auxiliary power of the suit to do that, basic AI thinking work. He needs that GPU power. He comes back out and goes, I don't have anything with that information specifically. And in fact, he does that motion with his hand where it looks like he's trying to bring up one of those hologram windows, and the window like starts to come up and then and like minimizes. He's like, that's part of some blocked information. It seems like it has to do there's some sort of like constructing things.
Okay.
You do get a ping.
Oh.
And you look it down at your D-pad, and it's Maylin. She sent you a little smiley face and says, the chat function. I'm in the areas right now. Do you need anything?
I slowly reply, yes. Where can I find you? Where is she? Yeah, that's why, because I don't think you said that, right?
So she sends you, I'm in the I'm in the glade where Tomas fought with Oberon.
Ooh, okay. I'll be right there. Winky face.
Heart.
I look at Will and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go find some information on these prints. The sooner we do that, the sooner we get a boat, even though we still need the tools for that.
For sure. Thomas, should we go speak to Oberon, in fact, as they're mentioning it, to help them continue their campaign against these voidling insects, the void bugs, whatever we still haven't dealt with that.
No, we have not. I don't know if I want to meet with Oberon right now with nothing to show concerning this. He did make it quite clear that he wanted us to defeat as many as possible.
Shall we go on a hunt then?
I think so. I would very much like that.
We should probably get a couple others with us, just in case we get ambushed of some sort, but...
We'll take some of the recent trainees. Put them in
a training mission.
Exactly. I'll go gather them up.
All right.
So you head off. Quinn, you start making your way towards the glade. Will, you're here. You're thinking about what's happened with these Hellions. You have that travel bug. And I think you have these schematics for this boat, but they're not useful quite yet. But that doesn't mean you can't make a boat.
Nope.
And Finley, I think, starts talking to you in this moment, and he's looking at the schematics, and they're interesting, but he kind of puts them aside for a second and just says, I think it's high time that we, rather than focus on this, that this is a little complicated, but I think there's been some talk, especially amongst the Phoenicians who can fly, about potentially going to the mainland. So now's a good
you're
time.
Right. And I wouldn't chance flying all the way just in case it's further than we believe. But Bart came on a boat. If we could replicate the design, we'd be able to have a fleet of our own to use.
I think so. With the forge, that means that we have nails, that we can work iron in at least, the simplest of ways.
Precisely. Banding the ship together, the boards and everything.
Yes. Although we've already run into some small problems with the Fae. We have a need for wood.
Right. Well, seeing as how the forest is all... I'm trying to find his name. Valen?
Bailiff?
Valeth. Valeth's, I guess, part of him. Potentially it might be an idea to scout outside the forest. See if there are any trees on the island that are not part of his progeny?
There are some. I think there is enough dead wood that is usable that we can craft maybe an expedition's worth of boats, a couple, maybe 3 or 4. But I think the idea would be we would need to take some means of production with us, some tools, and start another camp off the island and get wood from the mainland, find us a forest that is not magically protected.
Right. Yes. That you don't have to deal with trading each time we require something of it.
Yes.
You're right. And it would be a good idea to just know exactly how long it would take to get to the mainland initially, anyways. Because I don't know if Bart remembers exactly. Well, did Bart ever share that information with us?
He came from the east, not the west. So
Okay.
he was on. He did like a 42 days and nights thing on his.
Okay, like a pilgrimage.
Yeah, he like came ashore. He'd like not seen anyone in weeks.
Okay, but the mainland to the west, like, do we? We've been to the shore before, like the western shore. Do we see kind of thing, like in the distance, or is it like out of sight?
It's out of sight, so too far to see.
So we still don't know exactly how far it is to get there. We have no idea where it is technically. We just know that there must be some sort of mainland at some point.
Well, I mean, the flyers, when they go really high above the island, I'd say like you can start to see, like you see the horizon, like, it's like circling away from you, and there's a hint, right? There's a hint of land quite far out, but you do have to be quite high to do that. So it's like that's been spotted, so like, okay, we could probably get there, a couple of days journey by boat. Flying the whole way like could be tough.
Would it be absolutely out of the question of potentially taking some of our strongest flyers and not flying too far, but maybe starting the day on the western coast, flying a couple hours out and a couple hours back, depending on exactly how long they can maintain flight?
I think it would be possible.
Just to scout to see as the crow flies.
Of course, yes.
As I do believe flight would be a bit faster than boat.
I think so. We can manage. There's just there aren't that many with flight, so
No, of course. It's just to see if we can get maybe an approximation. If they've seen it from up on high, if maybe 2 hours flight can get us even within visual distance, a bit more than just from up on high, that would give us an idea of the distance as well.
Sure, yeah. We'll make it a point to scout towards the Western Ocean then.
But stress the point that they are not to overextend themselves. We don't want to lose anybody in this effort.
Okay. Yeah, Finley will take your advice and begin to talk a little bit with the others. And you see there's some other like small like plans here. He's got these like pieces of bark that he started to try to like just draw some like, maybe not designs, but you can see it's like math. There's like some graphs, there's like some like the angle of stuff. And now having had this conversation, you take another look at it and you realize like he was already trying to see like how can I make things more efficient for the people here with the tools we have. And one of the things was, all right, well, for the people who are flyers, like the human body is not so aerodynamic. So he's like, well, if we added like just like a flap that came almost like an avatar, like the flight suit, basically to, if someone is flying, it would help them glide a little bit and just ease the trajectory.
Yeah, take a bit of the burden off.
Yeah, but without the weavers, it kind of got halted a little bit. So now they're having to basically like do it by hand themselves with like needle and thread.
Have we lost our Weavers Guild completely?
Yes, basically all the spiders. Like there's some people who are still
because we've been putting in resources, or like what we were anyways when we were doing the fast time, into the Weavers Guild to keep people clothed and everything.
Exactly.
Throughout the past couple of years.
The thing is the cloth itself was coming from the Ottomans. So now without the thread, the silk thread, and it's like a magical silk thread on top of it. So it's like that stockpile has run dry. So now it's like, okay, well, we can repair clothing, but like now you can see like people are just starting to integrate like leather.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like with all the beasts and things that we've been hunting and everything, have they started tanning hides and such?
Yeah, and I think like that's the natural next step now.
Okay.
And yeah, right. So I think that you make sure this process is started, talk to a few people, make sure that maybe that these flight suits are getting looked after properly if this scouting mission is going to take place.
Yeah, if I can like start all those like little I guess little missions to kind of like start the process towards the mainland, that'd be good, and then I'd go meet up with Tomas afterwards.
Absolutely. So why don't you roll me an intellect roll, and we'll give you an asset for you have strategy, right?
Yes. Yeah. 16.
Okay. On a 16 with that asset, all these little plans they're getting nice and started. And you can see like Johnny comes in and he starts to give you a hand too, and just make sure that things are on track. Tomas, you go off to find your warriors. They're off fighting in the woods, so you do have to go out and find some of them yourself. Go ahead and roll me a might roll.
Okay. A might roll. That's a 12.
As you go through the woods, in the kind of like training ground area, there's a lot of like big trees here with like just like gnarled long branches, and the branches like kind of curve through different trees and each other, big root systems. So it's really like good 3D terrain for fighting. And you have the decafouts that are very strong and able to kind of like swing in these branches here. And on that 12, as Helga swings and basically like drop kicks you, you hold firm, and just she butts into you, and she just falls to the ground. Goes, "Oh, leader!"
You thought you could catch me off guard. I'll help her up immediately.
Oh, you help her up. She says, "What are you doing here? It's the middle of training now."
I know, but I'm here to gather some recruits. Wiln and I are thinking of going after some of the voidlings. I figured it'd be a good test for them.
Right. We should call them back.
Wait. No. Allow them to continue. I will find them.
All right.
Want to help me get the jump on them?
All right. And Vilga will tie her hair back into a ponytail, kind of a bun, and the two of you will go off into the forest. Why don't you make me a speed roll, and I'll give you an asset on it.
Okay. Yeah. Speed. Here we go. That's a 15.
Oh yeah. Easy. And I think the tag team of Commander Wilga, basically one of the fastest decafouts that there is in the races through the trees, and the fastest decafout, which is Tomas. The two of you Naruto style going through the branches, and just like clotheslining cadets out of the sky. And yeah, I think you round them up no problem.
Like as we're doing this, can we go around? We clothesline, we're like knocking them out of the trees and stuff, and whichever ones we like failed to do so against, like those are the ones we're picking. Like
yeah, the
like
last one.
Yeah, the ones who aren't like taken completely by surprise, or like the ones who are able to defend themselves even a little bit. Like those are the ones that are gonna join us.
Roll one of my new dice.
Oh my god, it's massive.
Nice D100.
Ah.
Don't break your table.
Yeah, that sounded heavy.
It's a nice mat.
Like actually.
Is it made of metal?
It is made of metal.
Oh my god! So yeah, it must be so freaking heavy.
Kill someone with that.
Right. So of these cadets, there's one where you go to give him basically a double lariat style. This cadet's going to get absolutely wrecked. And at the last moment, as the lariat's coming in, he knees himself in the chest really hard and takes himself out and hits the ground and totally tumbles and gets messed up. But you're like, that one's a good one. He saw the blow coming. And you, again, looking around. Give me another move that you pull with Wilga on a cadet.
We do like a really silly one where I like curl up behind their legs while they're least expecting, and then she like drop kicks them like so they trip over me.
Absolutely. So they trip over you, but they're so stiff, like they're so strong that when they trip over you, their legs like flip up and hit Wilga. She just kind of gets a little stunned for like half a second.
Yes, you and you follow us. We keep going.
You keep going, and then one more who is really with potential. You guys get everybody, and Wilga's, oh, there's one missing. And you have to go back out into the forest, and you find, covered in mud and leaves, one of the Decafouts, Predator, Arnold Schwarzenegger style,
Yeah.
just controlling presence, and is like looking the wrong way as the both of you walk up behind them.
Oh my god!
Well, like he doesn't notice it's coming.
He ends up not noticing. Like, you guys are too good.
Okay. Yeah, I see him there, and then suplex him.
Leaves
the
flutter
mud,
up
yeah.
and down. Incredible. Spits out some mud that got in his mouth as a result. But you gather up these recruits, and so there's three really promising ones, and there's there's also the other last ones that you got as part of this group. So it depends how many recruits you're looking for.
Like a small team, don't want too many. I feel like it's better if we also have like a bit of a maybe like a stealth advantage when we're going looking for these voidlings. We don't want to attract too much attention and maybe be able to get a jump on them. So there's like 3 promising ones here, or did you say 4? I think it was
3 promising ones. So there was the Dodger, the endurance guy, and the sneaky guy.
Yeah. Okay. So with them 3, with me, with Will, we're already 5. So like that's pretty decent, but we did struggle against a couple voidlings with about like 5 people. So maybe like 5 more.
Okay. Kaylin appears.
Oh.
And as you are all gathered here, you hear a laugh. Ha ha! My new tactic has worked. And the tree begins to move. And Kaylin turns around, and you can see that he has a daughter now, if you remember.
Yeah, I do remember, yeah.
With the Sandriel. And she was of the Ottoman variety. And so he has what looks like bark armor. And it's like living bark armor with moss on it. The joints of which are kind of like vines and things like that are wrapped around. It's like a half like helmet that comes in kind of like close, but doesn't obstruct his vision. His ears are exposed, but they have like little gnarled things like this that kind of like direct the hearing kind of like towards the helmet. It looks a little nubby and kind of like alive. So when it looks like the tree turns around, and in fact it is Kaylin in his new armor. He says, I was not moving, and so you could not see me.
Okay, you've been teaching that one, huh? And I look at the one with covered in mud and leaves.
All the students are like, and you realize the point of this exercise was like they were trying to find Kalen, and it was like they were fighting each other. It was like the first one to get to Kalen, and he had not moved from the original spot that they started at.
They have much to learn.
Yes. The thing that you look for is often in the last place that you look.
Yes. But I'm curious. I could not even sense you, Kalen. Is there something you've done?
It is the bark. It is still living, and so it is difficult to sense my presence through the presence of something else.
See.
I have to water it every day, and I have to feed it some nutrients, but it is worth the effort. I think it was given to me by Esandriel and Floss.
Floss?
My child.
Oh, Kalen, congratulations. I've not even met them. I'm so busy.
Should you wish to, you may. We have kept her close and in training. She's not quite Decafout, more Ottoman. And so has spent much of her time learning techniques from Esandriel.
Well, good. But I'm very happy for you, Kellen.
As well. The fact that my 1-year-old daughter can learn anything is incredible.
Those Ottomans, Yes, come, show me. We'll go. Make sure that the recruits are well prepared and send them over to Wiln.
We'll go. Should we arm the recruits with the weapons?
Of course. Or they each have their own. They will be bringing.
Each their own. All right. She kind of comes in closer. Are you sure they're ready? These magical weapons are not like the simple implements of the forest.
I think now's a better time than any for them to learn.
Yes. Maybe no fire ones to start.
That's a good idea.
Mm.
No water ones either.
Mm. Wilga goes back and grabs the 8 cadets that you've selected and goes to equip them with the utility style magical weapons that you guys have purchased.
Mm-hmm. Well, Kellen, lead the way.
You guys start bounding through the forest, and I think we'll leave as you get to his cute little forest home. It's a little bit away from the other Decafouts now since he has a family, but you see Esandriel there, still missing her forearm up to her elbow, basically, but she has a sort of prosthetic now, which is a bit of like, it's kind of like a straight pole with a bit of like a hook to it. And you can see even as you approach, that it's like she uses it. She's, she has her spider agility and climbing abilities. So she kind of like is up on the side of the, it's a circular little hut nestled in the trees, kind of attached with like moss and vine, but you can see the little sparkle of her magical thread in there. And she is up there with her daughter, Floss, and she's saying, "Get down this instant!" And Floss is giggling like a maniac and just like literally like Spider-Man running on the side of a building, but like over the top of it. And she's just like a little bit more wily than her mom in this instance. And then you come to, and as you meet the family, we'll shift and pan over to Quinn. Quinn, you arrive in the glade. And there is Titania having tea with Maylin. There are some courtly fae in attendance. They're all in their miniaturized forms. So it like truly May is sitting on like this big toadstool mushroom. There are all these like little other mushrooms around. And Titania is nestled in the fur of what looks like a rabbit with some small antlers on its head. Just so comfortable. And you hear Maylin as you approach, like, no, she didn't. They're just having a little gossip sesh.
Okay, I walk closer and I bow. Hello once again, Miss Titania. I've come to get Maylin for a quick little chat, if you wouldn't mind.
Titania, of course not. And she'll and Maylin will also kind of like nod and get up off the toadstool, and the toadstool will then like turn and go down to the ground, and she steps off, and then the toadstool gets up out of the ground and then just walks away. And so as the Fae continue talking, Maylin comes over and says, "Oh, I thought you would just message back."
Yeah, I was gonna do that, but I wanted to have some time with you, Maylin, in general. You've been awfully dexterous with the D-pad, as I've noticed of late, and I'm curious, how? What do you do that you're discovering all the secrets about it? I kind of wanted us to sit down and maybe you would teach me something.
It's not just me. And so she goes to kind of like a little bit private with you. You sit by the edge of the water, you hear the babbling brook, faint noises of animals in the forest around, as if there were no people nearby. And I think that all of the wildlife here feels so comfortable and protected in the presence of the Lady of the Woods. And so May looks at you a little guiltily, you can tell, and she says, holding it up, I've kind of been showing some of the other underseers the D-pad, and we've been working on it together.
Wait, you and who?
Well, there's Layla, and then there's Josh. There's also Odabwe. It's just so many people.
So
I
did you
think-
show it to help me?
The progression of the names.
That way was my favorite.
Odabwe?
Okay, when you say some, what's the percentage of underseers that have seen the D-pad already? Be honest.
Maybe like a few dozen.
Okay, could have been worse.
Couple hundred.
Oh, okay. All right. Now I see why you feel so guilty now.
Well, because some people are they're so good at like technology and circuits and talking about electricity and molecules and atoms and things, and then we're talking about quantum entanglement, and then we started talking to a geneticist, and then there was a biologist, and she just kind of goes on and she starts to talk to you. She's been talking to a variety of underseers and different departments of people who are bored out of their mind. Like they have all of this professional expertise, and because you guys are in this like stone age right now in terms of this civilization, they've been doing a lot of like repetitive, like go gather firewood, go get water, and those are the times when really smart people often have a lot of time. Your body is busy, and so your mind is free to think, and so they've kind of been doing a group project on the D-pad, and they've been able to kind of hack it a little bit.
I have the words. I mean, Milan, what you've done. Well, I did wish the D-pad was more of a secret. The benefits of this is incredible.
You wish it's supposed to be a secret? She looks genuinely chagrined.
Well, I guess I didn't really sat down and mention it directly. I'm worried about this technology getting in the wrong hands. And while now thankfully it's with us.
Well, we haven't shared it with any underworlders. I know you really don't like them, even though Hell was really cool.
I do agree he's an interesting character. But yeah, no, there's people that want to get this power in their hands because of its infinite possibilities. I mean, you've discovered yourself how many things this is capable of.
What people? And like you see this confusion on her face because as far as Mei Lin knows, it's just you guys in the Fae here and the Underworlders. And the Underworlders only come if you call them. So that means like in her head, you're talking mostly about the Fae right now, potentially.
Oh, I'm not referring about them. I'm referring of people before, people I've lost that have handed this to me.
I think I want to know a little bit more about who you've lost. You're kind of and she can't say it. And you just see her blush really deeply. And she's not often so shy. But she looks back up at you with that curiosity, having just asked that question.
All right. I guess it's time for a chat. Let's go on a walk. Maybe a bit further away from here.
Okay. And she gets up and follows you.
So, before I met you, May, before I even showed up in this forest, I've lived a very different life. See, I was for sure not the leader like I am found to be now. That's why maybe I don't look like one or act like one, even though I do try to train in that as much as I can for you and for the rest of the people. But before, I had a much simpler life, a life on the ship, up there in the sky, seeing the world from a different view. It seemed so much smaller than it does now, being in this forest. And on that ship, I just had one job that I really enjoyed a lot. I was checking in with the people on the ship. I had so many friends there, and I used to deliver letters, a simple concept, sometimes messages that weren't written for confidentiality's sake. But I got to learn those people's lives in deeply, and I had what I called a family back then, which I didn't always have, so I appreciate it a lot. But things didn't really go that well, and sadly, I was put into a position that I never expected, but that I'm incredibly grateful for. And I kind of talk about all the, I'm not gonna go in depth, but being given the D-pad and how I'm meant to, well, we are meant to rebuild this world again, because we knew it was gonna be destroyed at some point. I kind of look at her a little bit.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in. I think she's quiet for a little bit. You walk. So were you, I'm not sure I understand. Were you part of the old world?
I was.
But you were just watching it.
Yeah. Well, not just watching. People smarter than me were actually trying to help it, stop it from from ending. See, it had to do with magic. A lot of it. And maybe... Mentor, do you have a video to explain this? Do we have any documentary style movie of the end?
Mentor comes up, and he actually looks pretty serious, pretty somber. He says, I actually don't, because most of my memories start 2 years ago when we wound up on this island.
Oh, man.
So, I mean, you know, I can play back anything that we've seen since then, but I'm not the same AI that I was from before.
I do miss Hermes a little bit sometimes. But I do appreciate you, Mentor, a whole lot too. Truthfully, you've been such a help since, you know, from the beginning. You've helped me a lot. I'm incredibly clueless as a leader, and I think it's mostly because of you that I'm the 10th of a leader I am now.
Well, Malin says, if you're a 10th of the leader, I'm 1/10 of your leader.
You're underestimating it, Malin. Look how much you've done that I could have never been able to. You are an incredible spokesman for our people, especially dealing with the Fae. You've gotten our people to learn more about this tool, albeit behind my back. But you're so bright, and I honestly think you'll surpass me in no time. You just need to grow a little bit taller, as I tease her.
You tease her, give her a little pinch of the cheek, maybe, or a little touch of the hand, but she smiles, very sadly. So I'm sorry that you lost everyone you knew. I think everyone here shares that in some way, and I think that I put a lot of thought into us not having memories of the before times, and I think that it's maybe a bit of a blessing. Everyone has thrown themselves into this and has given their trust to the four of you who were with us when we woke up, because you're so much more powerful than we are. Truly, when we were fighting those voidlings after the landworm, and even during the landworm fight, I felt like I could just barely grasp the lowest rung of the ladder that all of you are on. So, I think you guys are doing a good job, and so far you've done your best to protect us, and everyone is doing their best. But maybe you need to do what you want to do too.
You can see Quinn, like a little tear from the side of her cheek just falls down. She rubs it off quickly. Give me a moment.
She doesn't give you that moment, and see the tear. She's gonna just hug you as tight as she can.
Oh, I hug her back.
Mentor will there, and he'll kind of like give you guys a little virtual hug as well on the shoulder. And you see that Mentor has tears in his eyes too, and he whispers that only you can hear, and he says, "I'm sorry, I'm not Hermes."
Don't feel sorry. I'm so grateful for you guys.
Malin just burrs her face into your spacesuit, and holding her so tight, I think like some of her hair shifts, and you can see that spreading on her skin, which has been kind of like that normal human, like peachy tone, is a little bit of your purpley blue. And it seems like that there's some sort of, whatever your bloodline is, that power, the latent power of that is in Maylin very strongly. And it's starting to show more and more.
This is so wholesome. Oh my god. I cried IRL, I'm just saying.
I'm holding it together because I'm the DM. So you guys share this moment, and I think maybe you talk a little bit more. Just
I tried
about,
to tell her some more details of the old world that I at least know certainly of.
so
But
you tell her just a little bit about, I think, a Seraphite Station,
and my
the
favorite
Seraphim.
food.
So
There were these space donuts, Maylin. You don't understand. They were so delicious and so gooey inside.
she listens with rapt attention. I think that she gets the message now of like, the reason the D-pads are secret is because they were kind of otherworldly. Like, yes, they're part of the world before, but they're a secret part of that world, a hidden part of that world. And I think you instill, a deep sense of discretion in her. But it's not a discretion about necessarily hiding what it is that she has. It's discretion with which she should approach the world. Right. With great power comes great responsibility.
Exactly. That's
right. I think we leave that moment and pan eventually back to, after a preparation period. How long do you think it takes you guys to get ready for this expedition that you wanted to go on? Either in like the Voidling expedition, but then there's also the greater expedition of like across the water.
Well, I guess, the water one would definitely be longer, I assume. Like, that would need to be like, okay, like get the scouting out done, get the boats built. Like, that would take a while. But like the Voidling thing, if we're just going out in like smaller missions, I feel like that could like be within like the day, maybe.
Yeah,
Correct me if I'm wrong.
thinking that with the Voidlings, like I think we really owe it to the forest for having been so helpful that we need to get rid of those Voidlings before we head off, moving away.
I feel like it would take us like a few days to go on like a little Voidling hunt.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And then for the boats, probably like a few months. I don't know. Like
that's
Definitely a longer
boat.
So what we'll do is this. We'll say, Quinn, why don't you go ahead and roll me a speed roll?
Okay.
And this is going to be for the boats. So this is just like the longer timeline. We'll get out of the way.
I'm in the dark because I have no light.
No lights.
Crying in the dark.
Oh my god. Sadly I got a 6. Do I have anything that came out to that? Is this a speed defense roll?
No.
Damn it. Then yeah, I have just a 6.
Okay. But just a 6. I think there's some craftsmen working on this. The issue is that I think with the 6, they can't get some of the materials they need until the Voidlings are cleared out. So it ends up being a stopper for the bigger expedition. And so in the day, maybe it's a day to get, the cadets together, they grab those weapons, they learn what the abilities are of those weapons. Will, you're just making sure that the affairs are in order.
Yeah, gather supplies and everything for the the couple day expedition to hunt.
Yeah, getting just truly like, are we ready? Like, okay, let's gather some of the spider mounts that we need for this small expedition. And then Quinn, you're talking to the couple hundred underseers who know about the D-pad and being like, hey guys, like, it's kind of we got to be careful with technology. get them started maybe on.
And also give me all your secrets, because you guys have figured things out that I still don't know about.
Absolutely. So you start opening it up a little bit to working on the D-pad with the underseers. I think you tell me if this is accurate, but now it seems like you've divided the underseers a little bit into two camps, where there's the secret society of the Dimensionauts. Yeah, there's like so you've kind of like restarted the Dimensionauts, but in a much smaller capacity. So it's just like they're all the ones that like all of these, like all the brain power is kind of like, you know, thinking about this, or like they're discussing theories and things, or and then there's the other side of it, which are more hands-on, like
That's it. I think
engineering.
in every society there's, you know, the people using the brain power more and other people using their muscle power more, you know. So it's okay for the moment to keep it small, and maybe with time we're gonna start sharing. Maybe through schooling we're gonna be able to like actually teach it safely to everyone.
Okay.
But for the moment, secret societies, it stays.
Yeah. So the divide between engineer and programmer starts now.
There you go.
Incredible. So we fast forward to, you know, a day and a half later.
I also wanted to do one thing, if we can.
Yeah.
Because I've been contemplating this plowing the land, and I want to attempt one single thing. I'm going to go to Thomas. Thomas,
What?
I have a request of you. I need your help and your big muscles.
My muscles are always ready to help.
Okay. See, and the old days, they used to do this thing with Earth where they had to move Earth around. And they used big creatures to move this metal thing in the earth. I need you to be that big creature, and I need to find someone to build me that tool. And after that, what you need to do is just walk around with that thing on your back for a little bit, you know.
Well, I am a big creature.
You are a big creature, yes.
What is this thing you need building?
It's kind of this metal, like, sheets. But I guess we're gonna have to use some other material, maybe just wood slabs or something. Let's find a metal worker / we got people in the forge that can do this for sure.
For sure.
Let's go to the forge together. I grabbed Thomas.
All right, let's go. We could try with some of the tools we have now, but this
What if we combined a whole bunch of axes? We have axes, right?
A few, yes.
Yeah, okay. What if we put axes on a slab of wood and then some rope around it, and then rope around you to connect the thing to it, and then you just move forward? We can try that maybe. And I go to the forge still to figure out if this can be done with my half-made plan. Yes.
Yeah, Finley's there. Lady, what are you, crazy? Put some axes on the ground. This doesn't make any. I can make you something custom. You need a plow, I guess.
Yes, that's exactly what I need.
Okay.
I'm making one.
Yeah. Sure.
I need a big one that Thomas can move around. The bigger, the better, because I don't know the ratio that we probably need to plow. There must be some criteria for that. I'm talking to myself at this point. But yeah, can you do that?
Yeah, we'll start it up. I mean, sure. It'll take a lot longer for that metal boat contraption. So we'll fit this in first. Make a small cast in the ground. Pour the molten iron into it, and try to cast it into something.
Do you know how long that will take you?
At least a week. We got to get the iron bars. We got to make the cast. We got to make sure it works. We'll maybe do a small prototype.
That's perfect. Gives Wilna and I a week to go hunt some voidlings.
All right, that's a plan then. Thank you so much.
Sure.
It is a lot better than access in the Grand. You're right. And thank you, Thomas. I really wanted to figure how to get more information from Mentor. This is the only plan I got so far.
Of course. Whatever I can do to help.
All right. And from there, we moved to those couple of days later. And you guys are all with your spider mounts. Everyone has a little pack of supplies that Will has helped prepare.
Also,
There's some
communication devices.
gourds with
I got
water.
20.
You guys have 20 communication devices, so maybe 20 members on this expedition.
It could be one per group, so it could be more than 20 people. I don't know how many people.
Don't all need.
have
It's
we-
more to communicate back with the base, right?
I think so.
And also, we picked, 8 cadets?
Yeah, it was 8 plus the 2 of us. I don't know who else is joining if you wanted to bring anybody.
10? I guess maybe a couple scouts?
Mhm.
That'd be good.
I mean, Johnny shows up, and he's got what looks like a great axe. A big ass axe. He's like, I'm ready.
You can swing that, right?
Of course I can swing this boss. And you like you like swing, and it's gonna hit a tree, and there's a small fey. It's like, no! He like, and like stops the axe. He's like, I have perfect control.
My goodness.
Okay.
Wait, can you try hitting the ground with that?
I really just sharpened it.
All right.
It's all right.
He like smacks the ground a little with the flat of the axe. There you go.
No, that's not quite what I had in mind.
All right. Well, no problem. But I'm ready to hunt some voidlings. We got this big thing. I find with a heavy enough axe, you barely even have to train. You just carry it around all day. Tomas, I've been watching you. You've been holding that spear nonstop, and I think it's the way to go. I get it now.
Okay, I have a question.
Pardon me.
Does that mean that now Thomas's third arm is more muscled up than his other arms?
Yeah, it's like a thick, muscly tail.
Yeah, I always imagined it was like thick.
Oh, okay. At first, I always imagined just like the same ratio as your other arms, but
Wait, gross. I mean, like a thin devil tail that with a hand at the end of it is kind of icky. It's giving me the ick. No, it's like it's the dude from My Hero Academia. He's got
okay, so it's like a
tail,
whole
it's like that
base.
with a hand at the end.
Hold on,
Big
I'm
fleshy
pulling it up.
tail. But I didn't even
This guy.
consider that. I don't think because I didn't have the tail when I like taped the spear to my hand. I didn't have the tail yet, so I don't
No.
think it's that arm. It's just my like.
Also, that means
It's
it's
just my
one of,
right hand is
so that's not
wrapped
your
up.
right
with the
hand. It's a lot bigger than your left.
thing. Oh, that's a little
Wonder why.
I'll be that spear all the time.
Of course. He's holding his
Its left one will
spear.
catch up quick. Okay, it's got some workouts to do on its own.
My goodness. All right. Well, I have what's this guy's name? Mashiro? Ojiro. Yeah.
Jiro, yeah.
Oh, for my hero?
Yeah. He's got this big. Oh, you guys don't see it. Oh, hold on.
Can't see it.
I think I messed up my sharing. Hold on. I have to reshare my screen.
Mhm.
Refresh. Oh, there it is.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, big.
Okay.
Okay, I see.
It's hard to sit down now.
Yeah, incredible. So he
Oh my god. Can your tail be a plowing device?
I guess it could. beat my tail into the ground. I
You
mean, you could
just
just like
run across.
just tie like something really heavy to the back of it and drag it around.
Yeah, because that's what I had in the picture. There was a thing that has a bunch of straight metal thingies, so you can connect it to your tail and run.
You know, it's a shame the basilisks all like when they became tamed, they became tiny little chickens. Like if we still had some regular sized basilisks, like maybe they could do the job. But
No, that's why I thought of you.
put me to work.
All right. A couple of days later, you guys get up onto. I don't know what happened. Sorry, hold on. Yeah, I messed up my camera setup for a second when I shared the screen. I'm back. You guys get up on your spider mounts, head deeper into the forest with your packs, your rations. So who exactly is on this expedition as you ride out? I think I want the finalized list.
Me, Will, the 8 cadets, including the 3 prominent ones, not prominent. I just wrote it down here. Promising. That's the word I was looking for. We got the sturdy one and the quick one. And then Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny's there.
I think I'm gonna be there too. Most likely.
Okay. Did you want to bring anybody?
I don't really have. Like, I don't remember any names of my muscly people. I only know George and Maylin on top of my head, and after that, it's big question marks.
Hold on, I'm looking. I'm like,
Anyone
do
with
you? What are the names?
You gave me a few just before.
I did. There's Layla and
Those
Josh
are all the smarty people.
Odibwe. I'm looking. Progenitors. Where did I put your factions? Here. I don't have any specific fighters, and I think that was the thing with your faction is that there's no specific fighters. That being said, your people have definitely shown an interest in the magical weapons.
That's true. So that's why if George has a few really nice weapons, and I have a few people who are down to try out those weapons live, I'll take it. I'll take a few. I'll take 5 people.
Is George interested in actually using the weapons or just really figuring out how they work? I feel like he's more of a how does this work kind of person.
No, I don't think I'm bringing George. I just want him to give me 5 weapons, and then I'll find 5 people to use those. George is too important to me.
Oh, and the others aren't? Whoa!
No, it's like his knowledge is so much power. I'm sure there's some people who are just looking for a fight too. Okay, just a way to take off the steam or something. And what better way than beat up voidlings?
Okay, so we have like 20 people in total, I guess. Our little squad to go take out these voidlings.
Okay, so I need to do the count out loud in my own. So it's Wilm, Tomas, Quinn, Johnny, 8 cadets. So that's 13. No,
Kalen. He did you not say he was joining?
Is Kalen joining as well?
No.
Oh, okay, I thought that's why he like showed up at the end. Like he'd be like, "Ah, you didn't see me."
No, I guess. Well, I guess it would have happened off screen, but yeah, I didn't invite him because he's a freaking father now. Okay, he's got other responsibilities.
I will watch the camp while you're gone.
Yeah, he's basically the de facto leader when I'm not there. So
What about Wilga?
I'm just got to train the rest of the recruits.
Okay. So 3 of us, Johnny makes 4. The 8 cadets is 12. I'll take a couple scouts as well.
Right, grab a couple
So,
flyers.
Getting up to 14. And then
5
Quinn has her 5 that she wanted.
Dudes.
To 19. Are you bringing Maylin, or are you leaving her?
I'll ask Maylin. I think she's at an age where she can make her own decision now. Maylin, want to go kick ass to some voidlings?
The bugs are really gross.
They are.
I
don't
have.
know.
If you need to send a message, I'll have the D-pad and I can relay it to whoever's
All right, that works then. So no, but maybe I'll take one scout dude, one good-eye person. I'm sure there's one who has a 40-40 vision.
Well, wait. If we want to have a nice clean round 20, you
Ooh.
can always ask Bart.
Oh, that's
Sure.
true.
If you wish to join us.
Bart, yeah, of course, I'll join you. Bart is looking ripped these days.
Okay, I mean, he already
It's all
was.
feeling the training.
I think you like when you met him, you didn't realize that he was malnourished from a long voyage at sea, eating nothing but vegetables and having very little water. And now that he's like thriving in a magical forest abundant with fruit and meat, that
Food,
he's,
yeah.
smoke over his fire to do his ritual. It's like he's become like he's this old like whitish short beard, like old like white hair and a ponytail at the back, wearing his like old like white robes with the that gray, like they're like stained brown a little bit from the earth now, and he's been like helping farm and take care of plants and things, and he's like an old hermit who just looks so strong. He's barefoot all the time now. I don't wear shoes anymore.
He's Master Roshi in his beefed up form.
Basically.
I love it.
All right, so Bart comes with you guys, and the 5 underseers. So the 5 underseers grab some magic implements. One of them does take what seems to be, it's basically a very small like police bat, and it has a fire property. So this one, it's on hit causes fire.
Specifically, no fire.
That was for the Decaphoutes.
Yeah.
Fair.
So the underseer has it, and he's like, okay, I can start a fire every evening. And then like another one of the underseers was like, and takes a spear that has like a small electrical current, and is like, if I need to go fishing, I can put this into the water. And then like, so it's like they choose a few like basically weapons that are like not super useful, but are like really utility based. And then you see that the Decaphoutes were like, well, if we can't choose fire and we can't choose water, what is left? And so like I think the 3 who were like more capable of them chose weapons that have like extra durability or sharpness. They're just like very like basically +1 weapons in D&D terms. And then the other ones chose between them, between the other 5, there's like 2 with earth, 2 with air, and then the last one, whatever the ability is, lets them like charge up and then like do a big jump. So it's like mobility based.
Okay.
Right. So a smattering of like small magical weapons and ciphers and things that they're able to use. And you set off on spiders, basically 25% of all the spiders that are left in the camp. So a quarter of the mounts. Because I think it was 20, even more actually, a third. It's like 30% of all the spiders. Because you guys had 25 per faction left over, and this is 20 of them. And you head off into the forest. As you head off, I've already changed the scene, and as you get deeper into the woods, the Fae help direct you kind of like a scout's to now there are small portions of the forest that the Fae say that they dare not go. And I think that that's an easy way to begin to navigate. And as you make your way through the winding infinite woods, you head a little bit towards the west, which I believe is the kind of like autumn-like area. And as you get there, you see these bulbous orange sacks at the roots of the trees. And one of the scouts, the Phoenicians, kind of flies back, reporting in, Will, there are more of these sacks up ahead. They seem to be sort of pustules and growths on the trees. I think I saw something skittering among the roots, but it's harder to see. It's a little bit denser over there.
Good looking out. We'll keep an eye out.
Some seem to
everyone...
I don't know what they are, but they could be eggs. They could be acid.
Yes. Have everyone stay close. Don't split off without having someone with you. But we don't want to get ambushed at this point in time.
Right. And you need to warily make your way towards this patch of the woods. And I think we'll pause right here for our bio break, just a few minutes, and we'll be right back. Bye-bye.